Welcome to Foundation Episode 5. Today we have mining, we have deforestation on a grand scale, and lots of other things going on in the next 26 or so minutes. I will be cutting the footage and of course putting in the main and important sections. So as you know from the previous episode, we expanded to the east. And what, of course, we need to do is deforest this area because it's just a ridiculous amount of trees and it is not good for our villagers. They keep getting stuck, so we need to deal with that. Now, taxation, at the moment, we are in the green, so that's fine. Just having a look at our trade deals, and here comes that bad weather that was promised in the last episode. So we do now have bad weather for a period of time. Now, the one thing I didn't notice when this bad weather was occurring was any reduction in food generation. So crops still seem to grow. There didn't seem to be any negative impacts from this rain and bad weather. Shout down in a comment below if you've seen any kind of effects of this bad weather, but I didn't really notice anything. Now, as you can see in the background while I'm talking, we are sorting out trade. We do not need to buy cloth anymore because, of course, we have our own. Do we want to be selling berries? No. So what we can now do is sell clothes. We can sell planks, stone and polished stone, but we still need to buy tools. Well, guess what? That's something else we're going to sort out in today's episode. We're going to be unlocking tooling, which is a byproduct of mining, of course, because mining allows a tooling blacksmith to create tools from the raw materials. So there's quite a lot of extra buildings that we're going to need to put down. So here we go. Let's hope it's going to pass fast. So the sky is falling. I mean, rain has never really been something that I think kind of massively negatively impacts us as a society. But hey, it's a bad event. Let's add those people to our population. Our population is now up to 76, so doing not too bad. And as I said, over the course of the episode, we've got a lot to do. So extraction is that first step. We need to decide how much we're going to remove. And I can tell you that it's going to be a lot more by the end of this episode. So around here where the housing is, we're going to want to get rid of all of the trees around there as well, and for that we're going to need to build some more lumber camps, so that they cut down the trees. So again, I started by thinking I'll just do the housing area, and as the episode progresses you can see I get a little bit more aggressive with it and just basically demark the whole area for deforesting. So it allows expansion much easier. I do leave some copses of trees though, just for kind of visual aesthetics. Again, deciding where to put the lumber camp, because of course it's got that big red circle round it, so we don't want it too close to our housing. I end up deciding on the south bank of the edge of the river here. This seems like quite a good location. Let's give it a bit of rotation and get it built. There we go. So that's a lumber camp that will be built. And again, just having a look at our desirability and fertility, of course, because until the trees are cut down by the farm, the new farm on the right hand side, we're not going to really be able to grow much crop. But luckily, once you've cut the trees down, the ground underneath, as you can see where the trees are already being removed, are fertile. So as that little tree goes down, you see that area that expanded, so that's fertile ground underneath. So all we need to do is get those trees chopped down. Now let's get that turned off again because it's quite gregarious and distracting, I would say. So again, we are in only our second territory, but we need to unlock another territory. And more importantly, we need to do several things to get mining underway. So a goods market, yep, let's get that. So we need to put new market benches in to be able to sell goods. And those goods will be, of course, the common clothes that we're creating. So let's add these people as well. That puts us up to a population of 78. So getting quite far. Let's add our workers. So add a couple of people. Let's have a look at the other buildings that we haven't necessarily fully equipped yet. So that carpenter there, that had no one. So let's get that equipped with some staff. That's still got 2, so we've got common clothes, wool, cloth and wood. So that's fine, but I think we're probably going to need another one. So let's build another warehouse. We'll put it to the right hand side of the carpenter there, who's going to be making planks. Which way round do we want to put it? Sideways like that? I think that's reasonable-ish. There we go, and get that built. Again, that's going to provide more storage. And as you can see, our little field area for our farm is now getting bigger as our lumber camp continues to cut down the trees. Now, it's quite a lengthy process, so I've just skipped forwards a bit. So we're going to unlock hedge. We're going to leave tavern for now and the tavern wall, but the devoted folks privilege, and there is also the common maintenance privilege. Now, common maintenance is quite a good privilege to have because it reduces your overall costs. We've got a load more people to add to the village. There we go. Population is now 82. Okay, so skipping forwards again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a nice little hedge around the manor house. As you can see, I'm not really doing anything to make this a major architectural wonder, so to speak. Oh, we've got another load of people just turned up, lovely. But I am putting this nice little hedge around it, makes it look a bit nicer. I don't know whether it actually has any effect per se. Oh, no, we didn't want to do that. So maybe click over there and drag it over. Yeah, there we go, that works. Whoa, that was a graphical anomaly. Okie dokie. Well, we've got a nice little hedge around it now, and what we can do is we can put in some extra beautification items to maybe make it look a little bit nicer. Can we move that? Yes, we can. Okay, there we go. Okay, so a little bit on the fiddly side. You've got, it all looks like one hedge apart from that end one because it's a separate block, but hey, you know, it looks okay. Let's put a couple of trees and bushes in. Now let's put the tree outside the manor. There we go, build that there. And again, some more beautification items. Let's put a couple of the plants in. There we go, build that as well. And we'll do one more, why not? And put it on the other side. There we go, that'll do. And there we go. That's kind of made it look a little bit nicer, hasn't it? Like it's actually got a garden and a hedge around it. Okay, right, back over to the other side. Let's have a look. We've got our tax collectors, our fishermen's working. Let's add someone to that yard. We need to add people here as well. Now, what do we want to store? So first up, planks, because we've got the carpenter next to it. And then the question is, what extra stuff do we want to be able to store? So let's put more for wall storage. Add another employee, and there we go. Or we could assign the remaining resources. Let's do wood as well. There we go. So we've got plenty of storage now for everything being created. You can see we've got 84 common clothes in stock, 86 now. So again, the market is something else we're going to need to improve. But as I said, I decided let's go a bit more crazy with the extraction and get all of this area fully extracted right up. Leave a little bit around the church. So behind the church, but let's take it all the way over and get rid of all this forest, leaving a nice little copse at the top there. So get all that area cleared out. Because as I said, it does create pathing issues. That's fine, we've got some more newcomers. So our population gradually increasing. There we go. And here we go. So wood for the bishop. Okay, let's have a look. How much? 100 wood? Well, we've got more than 100 wood in storage, so that's fine. We've got 261, and we're going to get 100 coins and 10 influence. So, not bad. So, let's put that, and there we go. Tick it off. So, remember, whenever you agree to do something, you have to click on it on the left-hand side. Otherwise, it will just expire, and you'll get the negative consequences of agreeing to do it and then failing. So always remember to click on that left hand side down in the bottom corner whenever you agree to do anything. So you can see our tax at the moment. We've got 591 coins. We're getting quite a bit of tax coming in. We could probably reduce our taxes now. I think we can safely reduce it down. So that's only going to be minus 5% happiness now. So that should also benefit our happiness, which is, I mean, it's a 91% at the moment anyway. But again, happiness is key. We don't want sad villagers. Okay, so we can build a wooden bridge there. That's great. And we having a look, there is nothing specific for mining. Interesting. So that I thought looked a bit like mining, but obviously it's not. And above is tooling. So that unlocks the ability to create tools from iron ore, which we can do with coal to turn into iron ingots that can then be converted into tools. But for that we need iron. So how would you go about doing it? So we can tax mining, but it doesn't obviously tell you how to set up a mine. Now, you have to send your bailiff and you have to survey the land. Now, I'm just going over everything here. See, there's no buildings, there's no anything, there's no obvious ways to mine. Now, as you can see, I've now purchased the territory as well. So you can see the yellow line is now going around. So what we're going to need to do is get the bailiff to actually go and survey those ores to see what they are, so that we can then build mines and then extract the resources. So that's how it's going to work. Now, we also haven't added any edicts yet, privileges yet. So Merchant League, so bonus of 10% from the village, that's a good one to have. And the other one is fair reputation, or that common maintenance. So labour buildings, 10% less cost. So that's a good one to have. Okay, so we've now added our 2 privileges from the labour branch. And again, our taxes are all good and we're making money. Although at the moment it's minus 15 because obviously I've built a couple of structures in the background, but that's fine. And we have all of our trade partners unlocked as well. Righty-ho. Okay, so again, just having a look through everything within the book, just making sure we've got everything as we currently want it. So the next would be lively, which is going to give us common goods, hunting, copperage, decorative items, stonework promotion and bulk trade, and then of course stone bridges and everything else as we unlock on the common path. And then also within the labour path we have more to unlock as well. But what we need to do, so manor house stone architecture, mining taxes, and the one next to it is fancy meals, I do believe. I haven't hovered over it. And again, fortified village privilege, so we can fortify ourselves. Okay, so that's all that. What we want to do now is actually get to what we want to do, which of course is mandates. So go to our mandates, and as you can see, prospect a mineral deposit in proximity, and you can just start that. Now ideally you should click on where it is first, which is the little GPS locator icon, and it would tell you which one you're doing. Now I just knew this was the one on the right hand side, and it turns out that it's iron ore. So as you can see, the bailiff is now standing up there in the background at the top of the screen surveying that ore. What we need to do is we need to potentially expand our market as well going forwards, because although we've unlocked goods, what we haven't done, oh there's a horsey there, okay, celebrating the labourers. I'll make sure everyone appreciates their time. So a regional fair, let's get that underway. So that's another fair. Again, going to boost happiness. We're at 96% happiness anyway. Just having a look through all the different buildings. So of course we've got decoration, transportation, walls, so everything else that we've unlocked. But he hasn't finished surveying yet. So there he is standing at the bottom surveying, and he is about halfway through to level 6, and he is working at the moment. So it doesn't give a progress, i.e. how long it is before he's going to have done it, but he is surveying those mineral deposits, so we'll be able to find out what they are, and then of course build a mine on them. Okay, we've got more people coming to the village, population up to 91 now, and as you can see, look at that, much bigger area now being harvested. So what we're going to need to do, of course, is build a fountain sculpture masterpiece. Now what I was going to say is we're going to need to build a windmill and a baker. So we now need to put a sculpture masterpiece. So we've said very well, we've got 3 more people that we need to add, and we've got that regional fair that we are now hosting. better days are coming. Okay, so that's it. The weather has gone. We've got our regional fair underway. That's lovely. The guy is surveying, our bailiff is surveying the mineral deposit. So as I said, what we need to build first is the fountain. So we need to start building our masterpiece. Now the question is, where are we going to want to build it? I think in the village centre. Well, near the village centre. And there's a nice little bit of space here. So let's maybe build it there. That seems to make logical sense to me. So quatrefoil basin, octagonal basin, pedestal and hexagonal pedestal. So we can go with a quatrefoil. So you plop it down, and then what it is, it's bolt-on components. So to have gold, you're going to need gold and marble. For just the marble, again, you're going to only need marble. But more than that, you need polished marble, full stop, which we do not have. So it's going to be something that we're going to need to add to our trade requirements as well. But let's start adding stuff to this fountain. So I think a pedestal for the quatrefoil. Let's have a look at the other one. Although you can't really see, so that's much smaller. So let's go and add the big one, I think, in the middle maybe. Oh, octagonal basin. I wonder if you could put a basin on top. Anyway, so we put that pillar in the middle. And now you can just pick one of them. So a shoveler, a labourer. So let's put a labourer in the middle. There we go. So that looks like quite a good fountain. Build. And there we go. So that's now under construction. And again, for it to be built, we're going to need all of the resources to do it. So that's 85 marble, 10 iron, and a boatload of tools. So again, stuff that we're going to need to buy for now because we don't have marble. So again, iron, let's add 10 of those and buy until we have. The same for marble. Now, of course, that's going to give us a trade deficit for now, but that's fine. We're at plus 19 at the moment, so we're okay money-wise. And again, it's marble that we need, so go back to trade. Go to marble and then decide how much you want to buy in. So let's make sure we can buy it first. Well, we can sell it to them. Doesn't look like there's anywhere we can buy it from though. But we'll put buy anyway. Hopefully there was one that I couldn't see. And go to buy until we have 30. And then just do the buy until. And there we go. So hopefully that will do, but of course we also need to put storage, so we're going to need to build more warehouses, but I'm just skipping forwards again, because as I said, we need to build that windmill, that bakery, and as you can see, the trees, more and more and more are going. So now we've discovered, there we go, iron deposit. Okay, so edit building. So the deposit is classed as a building, and we can put in some cranes, we can put in the quarry itself, then there's a cart, and there is a small crane. So there's various things that we can put in. Okay, so that's the quarry itself. So let's put that in. Okay, so that's a dot that we can attach it to. Okay, what about the cranes? Where do they go? Okay, so that, I'm guessing, doesn't attach and goes down on the ground. Okay, and that's going to store a small amount of the resources that we're going to be excavating from the mineral deposit. So let's go and put that, I don't know, that side? Like that, maybe? Yep. Okay, what else do we need? Small cranes. Okay, well, those attach to the small dots. So we can add one of those. There we go. We can add more as well. Cart doesn't attach. It just goes down on the ground. Obviously, I was trying and just seeing what it does. So for aesthetics, you can obviously put it down there. And then we want some other cranes. So there's another little crane there. And then another quarry off to the side. Now, we know we could attach it before. There we go. So that's our two quarries. There is not a third large dot, although there is another small dot, so we could add another crane. But I think that looks okay. And build. So it needs 35 tools and 85 planks. Again, we could lob in an extra crane. There we go, and build. So that's it. Our mine will now be constructed. And of course it has that nice big red area of undesirability near to our residential area, which is less than ideal. But what of course we can do is expand our residential area into the green zone and maybe delete out a little bit from the top there and maybe remove it. But it's still a fairly desirable area, so it's fine. Okay, so let's take off our filter, and okay, there we go. They're starting to build stuff, so that's good. Now, what we will do is we will put the blacksmiths and everything else off to the left-hand side. Now, as you can see, I have added additional warehouses. So as we've been skipping forwards, I added additional warehouses to store the resources that we need. And here you go, you can see which deposit is what. So let's start surveying one that is near to the one that we've already uncovered. So the bailiff will now go and survey that. And guess what it turns out to be? Oh, it's gold. That's right, it's gold. Lovely stuff. Now, do we want anything else? Because we now have the flourishing. And of course, what we do want, as I've said before, is tooling. Now, tooling is going to allow us to convert those resources that we're going to be mining into useful products like tools. So let's skip forwards again. As you can see, the mine is looking like it's semi-constructed, which is good. And then we'll have to allocate some staff, some serfs to work the mine. Now let's get that windmill put down that I've been talking about for like the last 5 minutes. So let's get that put in. Again, just build. And of course we want a bakery as well. So let's get that put next to it. The right way round ideally. There we go. And now we've got a bakery and another flour mill, which of course will also introduce more tax because we'll get taxes for it. And there is mining tax, and there are other taxes that we can apply, but you tend to find you need to apply edicts and privileges to reduce the infuriation of your people to be able to successfully use them. Now we're at a big minus chunk and we're nearly out of coins at the moment, but that's fine. We're not going to go negative, but you do need to monitor. So we're going to put another builder's workshop in as well. Because of all this construction over here, we could do with a local builder's workshop. So we can straight away add 3 workers to that. And that's good because that will put people nearby who can actually build stuff for us. And as you can see, this area is slowly being deforested. Emphasis on the slowly, bearing in mind this game is running at triple speed. Okay, so we've got 2 builders assigned to the construction. Let's get 2 miners assigned straight away. And then once that building is constructed, which it nearly is, in fact, I think that's it. I think everything's done. Yep. Now we can add 2 more miners. No, we can't. We don't have any employees. Okay. That's fine. We need more people to come in. Our happiness is high, our employment is high, our residential space is high. So everything is good at the moment. In effect, what we do really have is 2 villages. We have our western village and our eastern village, but that's fine. Skipped forwards again. We now have some extra people. Our population is at 95. The desirability of that house there is low, but the desirability of the one next door is high. So that's fine. So we keep the authorization of housing density upgrades, that's fine. And that's bringing us near to the end of this episode. Now going forwards, we're going to need to start promoting our serfs for jobs. But what we can do is maybe try some beautification. Can't even build it at the moment because we don't have certain resources. So, oh well, it was worth a try. But there will be a lot in the next episode as well. But this is quite a lot, so this represents where we are now, quite a lot of playtime, as you can imagine. We have our original village, we now have our new eastern village, we have all the extra space here to use as well. The question would be what territories we go with next. So where would we expand to? Somebody commented that expansion to the left would be a good thing. I don't disagree. The reason I picked this just purely for its shape and space, but you know, each to their personal preference. Now, if you are finding this series helpful, then what I will find very helpful is if you subscribe to the channel, if you aren't currently. That would be great. I'm hoping to get to over 15,000 subscribers by the end of this year, hopefully. And here we have a gold deposit. Okay, so we now have gold, so we can build a gold quarry. Now, again, we're quite low on money at the moment, but we can put in some rock holders, some small cranes, some carts, and of course the usual cranes, and everything else that goes with it. Now we also have that middle ore that we need to survey, so hopefully that will be marble. That's just me being hopeful. It could well be another gold deposit, or of course it could be another iron deposit. We will have to find out in the next episode, because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for today, that is it. We've got a couple more newcomers. Our population is at 97. I will just do a little tour and some camera rotation, but until next time, all it leaves me to say, of course, is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and from me, Know It All Gaming, good night.